Ready for another spooky, scary story from the dark depths of the creepy forest?
The room at the end. It was nearly midnight when Hannah checked into the Hillcrest Inn, a roadside motel miles from anywhere. The rain hammered down in sheets, and the flickering neon vacancy sign cast an eerie glow over the deserted parking lot. Inside, the air smelled faintly of mildew and cheap disinfectant. The night clerk, a wiry man with hollow eyes, handed her the key without a word. Room 6, he muttered before looking away. Hannah noticed the numbers on the keys behind him. They skipped from 5 to 7. "Where's room 6?" she asked. He froze, his eyes narrowing. "End of the hall. Last door. Just stay in your room. Don't wander." Hannah frowned but was too exhausted to ask more. Room 6 was a time capsule of the 1970s. Faded wallpaper, dim lighting, and a buzzing TV set. She tossed her bag on the bed and collapsed, staring at the ceiling. That's when she noticed the door. It was opposite the bathroom, painted the same color as the walls, nearly invisible in the dim light. There was no handle, just a keyhole, old and rusted. Curious, she crouched to peer through it. On the other side was another room, identical in layout but dimly lit with flickering shadows that moved unnaturally. Hannah pulled back, unnerved, and decided to ignore it. At 3 a.m., a knock jolted her awake. It wasn't at her main door, it came from the hidden one. She froze, heart pounding as the knock came again, slow, rhythmic. "Hannah," a voice whispered from the other side. Her stomach dropped. She hadn't told the clerk her name. "Who's there?" she called, her voice trembling. No answer, just a soft, scraping sound like nails dragging across the wood. Hannah grabbed her phone and tried to call the front desk, but there was no signal. The scraping stopped. Relief flooded her, until she noticed the shadow under the door. It was still there. In the morning, the hidden door looked normal again. Hannah convinced herself it was a bad dream, though she avoided the keyhole. She planned to leave as soon as possible. When she checked out, the clerk barely glanced at her. "That room," she started, but he cut her off. "Don't say anything," he hissed, his face pale. "What's behind that door?" His expression darkened. "No one stays in room 6 for long. You're lucky to leave." Back home, Hannah couldn't shake the experience. Weeks passed, but the feeling lingered. At night, she woke to the sound of faint knocking, even though she'd locked her bedroom door. One night, she couldn't resist. She bent down to look through her bedroom door's keyhole. On the other side was the same room she'd seen before, dimly lit, with flickering shadows. A figure stood in the center, staring back at her. It wasn't a stranger. It was her. Her doppelganger smiled, blood trickling from its mouth, and whispered, "You let me in." The knock came again, this time from inside her room.
If you have not already, like, subscribe, and hit the notifications button.